What's up, ladies and gents? You know what time of day it is. It's XCN time, and in today's video we're going to be discussing what we are seeing here on the charts. Of course, I'll be giving you guys a price prediction for where I think the price is going to be going to over the next few days and my personal price target for XCN in 2025. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. Of course, if you are a new viewer, then welcome to the channel. If you do like this sort of content, hit the like button and subscribe for more. If you are a returning viewer, as always, welcome back to the channel. It's great to see you all here. So diving straight into this video right now, Onyxcoin, in my opinion, is in quite a critical area, and there's quite a few reasons for this. But the first and most important one, in my opinion, is the fact that if we have a look on the MACD, we are so close now to seeing a crossover of these two lines. We've got this orange line and the blue line there. And basically, when we get a crossover of these two lines, we get a very strong buy signal. That's because we see the momentum shift from bearish on the one-day chart that we're seeing here to bullish. So you can see these bars at the bottom here are red. Once we get a crossover, we start to see green bullish momentum here on Onyxcoin, and of course that is normally associated with a new bullish trend, of course. And just to demonstrate how powerful these crossovers are, last time we got a crossover here on Onyxcoin, if we go back to just before we pumped here in January, you can see that we got quite a nice crossover in this region here. Of course, you see large red bars where the price was heading downwards. We got a crossover on the MACD where the bars started to change green here, and of course if you have bought at that region, you would have literally done a 20x in the space of 2 weeks here in the price. Of course, we got another crossover very close to the top here. After that 20x had occurred, the MACD flipped from bullish to bearish right around this region here. So if you did sell when we got the crossover at the top of the MACD price, you would have locked in a decent amount of profit. So I see the MACD on the one-day chart as a very important buy and sell signal. Now, of course, like I say, we're about to see that crossover. So that is the first sign, in my opinion, that we could be starting on a new bullish trend. So ladies and gents, what we really need right now to lock in this crossover is for today and tomorrow to be green on the chart. That's all we need. We need the prices to have this green candle throughout the rest of the day. If the prices start to dump later today like this, for example, then this would prolong this crossover. That would not be very good. What we need to see is this candle continue going up for today into tomorrow as well. And if we see two green candles, we would potentially lock in this MACD crossover. Of course, if that's locked in, that would be an extreme buy signal. I think a lot of traders will pick up on that, and we could see quite a bit of momentum return here to Onyxcoin. On top of this crossover as well, another area that I'm really paying attention to on Onyxcoin is this price level here. Now, this area is important for me because if we zoom in on the 1 hour chart here, this is basically like an area of control. This looks ridiculous, so now I'm going to remove that. And as you can see, this is an important support and resistance for the price here on Onyxcoin. And what I'd really love to see over the next few hours and days is something like this to kind of validate that we are seeing a new bullish trend emerge. What I want to see is the prices to reclaim this 1.46 cents level and kind of do a support resistance flip on this. Not only would this be very bullish because of the fact that we flipped that support and resistance, but the fact that we'll also then see higher lows, so basically lock in higher lows here on the price, but also higher highs. And this is how a new bullish trend emerges. So basically, the aim of this is to reclaim this strong support and resistance at 1.46 cents and also create a higher high and a higher low on the price. And of course, that would be extremely bullish in my opinion. If we can successfully get past the 1.46 cents level, I personally think we could see a really nice price target emerge here on Onyxcoin. And the reason for that is we could potentially be seeing this falling wedge pattern play out here on the charts. And I do strongly believe that this pattern here is still in play. Of course, the prices yesterday, since the video I made, dumped right after that video had occurred. But thankfully, we saw a retest of this resistance here from the falling wedge, and we saw quite a nice bounce off of it into today. And now we are seeing the prices head back up once again. So in my opinion, this falling wedge pattern is still in play. We've seen a breakthrough to the upside from this pattern. We've seen a retest of this resistance, and now we are starting to see the prices head back up. So the order of things here, prices continue to go up, break past this 1.46 cents, we see a MACD crossover, then we could be seeing a price target on Onyxcoin of this distance here. The first test of support to the first test of resistance. We measure that, we drag the measuring tool to where we see the breakouts, and we can see immediately we are looking at a price target on Onyxcoin of 3.6 cents. Now that is a 173% trade if this falling wedge pattern is to be respected. Of course, if you are looking for a great place to trade this, then check out the MEXC exchange. The link for it is in the description. And if you click in that link in the description down below, they'll give you a free $20 just for signing up. Of course, if prices start pumping here on Onyxcoin, I do expect the price target to be hit quite quickly. Of course, remember guys, every time we see pumps on the price, they generally tend to happen a lot quicker than these drops in price. Of course, this downtrend lasted months, but I will not expect an uptrend to also last months. I will not expect to see something like this to reach the price target. When we do start shooting in the upwards direction here on Onyxcoin, I would expect that to happen within a matter of days at the very latest. Of course, this is what we are preparing ourselves right now for. Any moment we could start to see a pump in the prices once again. Of course, we need the correct conditions for it, but once the conditions are there, then we want to be prepared for takeoff. So of course, we have this first price target sitting at 3.6 cents, but what happens if the prices keep pumping past that? Of course, I do think it's still quite likely that we exceed that 3.6 cents target. The next target I'd be looking at after 3.6 cents is the previous high there at 5 cents. If we can claim 5 cents and continue going here on Onyxcoin, then we'd be looking at these extended fibs here as the next potential targets. The first one there sits at 11.5 cents. The next one sits at 17.7 cents. Very important, this one here as well, the 1.41 fib, because that's actually where the previous all-time high was on Onyxcoin as well. So the fact that this 1.41 fib lines up with the previous all-time high adds conviction to the fact that these fibs are going to be respected on the way up. Of course, the final golden fib here, the most important one, tells us that we could potentially be seeing up to 33 cents here on Onyxcoin. So very exciting prospect. That is my target for 2025 here on Onyxcoin. Of course, I do expect there to be another rally like this. Of course, I do expect there to be another rally like we saw back in January. It's just a matter of time. But of course, until then, we do need to be patient. Things on the shorter term, though, are looking pretty good for something bullish to happen fairly soon. Of course, if we look at other telltale signs telling us that we could start to see some bullish price action in the near future, we first turn our attention to Bitcoin, which, of course, if you see my previous videos, you would have seen this chart as well. Bitcoin has been in this bullish trend since 2023. You can see this gray support trend line here has been supporting the price on the way up. Most recently, Bitcoin came down to test this support and we saw a nice bounce off of this level. And of course, I expect Bitcoin to follow the path here in green. Of course, there's going to be some sort of consolidation, in my opinion, around the 85,000 region. And at some point in a month or so, we start to see Bitcoin really climb into new highs here. Of course, the Bitcoin strategic reserve was announced. There's too much bullish news here on Bitcoin for it to continue falling, in my opinion. On top of that, we've also seen the crypto fear and greed index at ridiculous levels in 2025. We are seeing record lows in the index here of 18 at the very current point in time, which represents extreme fear. We've been in extreme fear now for basically the past week. And of course, when we see these lows in sentiment, it generally also corresponds to a low in the crypto prices. Of course, we can have a look at this chart and kind of look at when the lows in sentiment were, and you'll notice that the corresponding prices here on Bitcoin, which is represented by this gray line, were also basically dips when the sentiment was low. So here in September 2023, for example, in the low, the sentiment when it was 32, you can see that Bitcoin dipped down to 25,000 before starting its next leg up. Of course, we also saw a dip in sentiment there in September 2024 when Bitcoin also dipped down to around 50,000. That's just before Bitcoin started its next leg up to 100,000. And right now, we are seeing extreme fear kind of correspond to the price of Bitcoin being around the 76,000 region. So if you believe that greed and extreme greed are going to be returning to the markets, which in my opinion is extremely likely for crypto, then now of all times is a perfect time to be buying up your favorite cryptos. And of course, I can picture it now in a few months' time when the sentiment is a lot better, sitting at least neutral, hopefully in greed and extreme greed, that we'll be looking back at March 2025 and thinking, why did we not buy more crypto during the dip in the markets when we saw that extreme fear? So that's kind of my take. This is one of my strongest signals in my opinion. Of course, if you are holding Onyxcoin and you're feeling a little bit down, the drop in prices throughout crypto have got you feeling a little bit down, then go follow me on my Twitter at BigBCFinance. The link for this is in the description down below. Of course, on my Twitter, I like to repost from people who I truly respect here in crypto. As you guys can see, a lot of the reposts that I have are people who are bullish on the markets. Theo Trader, for example, I respect his analysis on crypto, and he is bullish on Bitcoin. Of course, a lot of these retweets are going to be about Bitcoin because that's just the largest coin in crypto. But generally speaking, Bitcoin and Onyxcoin are going to be highly correlated. So if Bitcoin's making this move up like Theo Trader says it might, then we should see Onyxcoin moving up like that as well. Same for Crypto Gel here, a very, very level-headed account here in crypto. Again, posting that this extreme fear that we're seeing in the markets is a little bit unwarranted for. So follow me on my Twitter if you want your daily dose of positivity here in the markets. And so yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say here on this video. Of course, I'm bullish here on XCN. The prices have been moving up quite a bit since we started this video, already heading towards that 1.4 cents. Let's just hope this can continue throughout the day. We'll get that MACD crossover and we could be seeing that price target at 3.6 cents hit sooner rather than later. Of course, let's manifest the pump together here on Onyxcoin. Of course, guys, thank you so much for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one.